This I did not learn till later. At the time I only felt myself summoned by the voice of her whose power over me was so great, and in obedience to it I found myself standing in what I could dimly distinguish to be a small room. I say dimly because all was still dark to me, save only where the light around my darling shone as a star and showed faintly what was near. It was to this good man of whom I speak that she has gone, and it was her voice speaking to him that had drawn me. She was telling him that what had passed the night before, and how much she loved me, and how she would gladly give all her life if by so doing she would comfort and help me. And that man spoke such kind words to her. From my heart I thanked and still thank him for them. He gave me so much hope. He pointed out to my dear love that the ties of the earth body are broken at its death, and I was free to love her, and she was free to return that love, that she herself better than any other could in truth help to raise me, for her love would give me comfort and hope, and nothing else would do, and would share my path of repentant effort, and she had now the best of rights to give it. My love for her had been so pure and true a passion, while hers for me was stronger than death itself, since it had overcome the barrier of death. He was so kind, this man. He helped me to speak to her, and to explain many things as I could not have done the night before, when my heart was so sore and full of pride. He helped me to tell what of excuse there had been for me in the past, though I own that nothing can truly excuse our sins. He let me tell her that in spite of all the wrong of my past, she had been to me as one sacred love, with a love I had given to none but herself. He soothed and strengthened her with a kindness for him, for which I blessed him even more than for his help to myself. And when she left him at last, I, too, went with her to her home, the light of hope in both our hearts. And when we got there, I found that a fresh barrier was raised up by those two spirit brothers, and others to whom she was dear. An invisible wall surrounded her, through which I couldn't pass, and though I might follow her about, I could not get very near. Then I said to myself that I would go back to the kind man and see if he would help me. My wish seemed to carry me back, for I soon found myself there again. He was at once conscious of my presence, and strange as it may seem, I found he could understand much, although not all, that I said to him. He gathered the sense of what I wanted to say, and told me many things I shall not set down here, since they concern only myself. He assured me that if I were only patient, all would be well in time, and though the relations might build their spiritual wall around my love, he will her will would at all times draw me through it to her, and nothing could shut out her love from me. No walls could keep that back. If I would seek now to learn the things of the Spirit and work to advance myself, the gulf between us would disappear. Comforted, I left him and wandered away again, I knew not where. I was now beginning to be dimly conscious that there were other beings like myself flitting about near me in the darkness, though I could scarce see them. I was so lost and so lonely that I thought of going back to my grave again, as it was the spot most familiar to me, and my thoughts seemed to take me back, for soon I was there once more. The flowers that my love had brought were faded now. She had not been there for 2 days. Since speaking to me she seemed to forget the body that was laid away in the earth, and this to me was well, and I would have had it so. It was well for her to forget the dead body and think only of the living spirit. Even those withered flowers spoke of her love, and I tried to pick up one, a white rose, to carry away with me. I found I could not lift it, could not move it in the least. My hand passed through it as though it was but the reflection of a rose. I moved round to where there was a white marble cross at the head of the grave, and I saw there the names of my beloved one's 2 brothers. Then I knew what she had done in her love for me. She had laid my body to rest beside those she had loved best of all. My heart was so touched that again I wept, and my tears fell like dew upon my heart and melted away its bitterness. I was so lonely that at last I rose and wandered away again amongst other dark wandering shapes, few of whom even turned to look at me. Perhaps, like myself, they scarcely saw. Presently, however, 3 dark forms which seemed like 2 women and a man passed near me, and then turned and followed. The man touched my arm and said, "Where are you bound for? Surely you are newly come over to this side, or you would not hurry on so." "None hurry here, because we all know we have eternity to wander in." Then he laughed, a laugh so cold and harsh in tone it made me shudder. One of the old women took my arm on the side, and one on the other, saying, "Come away with us, and we will show you how you may enjoy life even though you're dead. If we have not got bodies to enjoy ourselves through, we will borrow them from some mortals for a little. Come with us, and we will show you how that pleasure is not ended yet." In my loneliness I was glad to have some being to speak to, that although they were all 3 most repulsive looking, the woman to my mind even more than the man, I felt inclined to let them lead me away and see what would happen, and I had even turned to accompany them, when afar off in the dim distance, like a picture traced in light on a black sky, I saw the spirit form of my pure sweet love. Her eyes were closed, as I had seen her in my first vision. But as before, her hands were stretched out to me, and her voice fell like a voice from heaven on my ear, saying, "Oh, take care, go not with them, they're not good, and their road leads only to destruction." Then the vision was gone, and as one waking from a dream, I shook those 3 persons from me and hurried away again in the darkness. How long and how far I wandered I know not. I kept hurrying on to get away from the memories that haunted me, and I seemed to have all space to wander in.